You're listening to the Behind the Booth podcast with DJ iSizzle, where music, weddings, and unforgettable stories come to life. And now your host, DJ iSizzle.
What's going on, my fan sizzles? It's DJ iSizzle. Welcome back to Behind the Booth with DJ iSizzle. This is the show where music, weddings, and unforgettable memories come to life. I'm your host, DJ iSizzle, and before we get into today's episode, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend. Many years, he sent me this book. This is the Ninja Turtles. This is some of the newest comics they've been putting out, and as you can see, it's approved by the creators, the original creators. And if you haven't checked out this comic, I was actually talking to my friend. We were messaging each other on Instagram, and he was saying, have you read this newest retelling of the Ninja Turtles? And I was like, no, I've heard of it. I read some stuff. Just so you guys know, if you do not know, I am a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I've been collecting memorabilia for years. In fact, I think I need to definitely share some of that with you. But yeah, this one called The Last Ronin. If you have not read this, it is a lot darker than the comic book Ninja Turtles. Well, not the original one from the 80s, but I'm talking about like the cartoons from the 90s. Even the newer cartoons, like from the last few years, this is definitely a darker twist to the Ninja Turtles story. And if you want a little darker Ninja Turtles, I highly recommend this one. This is such a cool comic, illustrations, the whole thing here. Yeah. Well, anyways, if you are a Ninja Turtles fan, check this out. It's really good. I love the way they're going with that. All right. That being said, let's get into, oh, you know what? You might be looking at something back there. So right back there, we just got this in. This is 1 million digital streams. We did this in March of 2023, and it just arrived, believe it or not. That is my 1 million digital streams for the single Don't Let Me Down featuring Nova Bell. It's a cool little electronic track. If you haven't heard it, check it out. It's a great little, great song to start your day, workout, put in the car. It's called Don't Let Me Down featuring Nova Bell, DJ iSizzle's song. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I'm definitely happy about the 1 million streams. And, and also we got, it's called the Wedding, I'm calling it the Hall of Fame right now, but this is for couples that hand write me a card and give it to me at their wedding. And also just some stuff just some clever ideas, like making a little newspaper print and setting it around the reception, after you get married. So your guests can see it, as well as a nice little leaflet. I guess you could call it a leaflet that has some of your stories of how you met as a couple. And I honestly, I love that stuff from weddings. So, I've been collecting it, and I've also been collecting photos and different things we've been taking throughout that are actually something that you can hold in your hands. And, yeah, I bought this, poster board, cork board. I just put this up a few days ago. So I'm excited for you guys to check it out. I'll throw some video, of the board, just some real quick stuff, as well as I'll show you the plaque for the 1 million views. All right, let's get into today's episode. I always like to kick things off with 5 questions. That way you can get to know me better. Maybe we can, relate a little bit more, do a little more bonding throughout the episodes of these podcasts. So let's get into it.
5 questions for DJ iSizzle. Tell us about you, DJ iSizzle.
If I could instantly master any skill, what would it be? I'm going to say the nunchucks. Nunchucks, I've seen people try. I've tried them. They are the hardest. You whack yourself in the head and people think you're amazing, and your nunchucks will take years and years to learn. So I would definitely say the nunchucks. What's the weirdest food combination I secretly love? I love Chinese food and Mexican food put together. For some reason, I just enjoy it. Would I rather ride a roller coaster or go skydiving? Neither. I get motion sickness when I ride rides and roller coasters. I'm good. I've seen videos, and I think that's all I need to see. I've seen plenty of skydiving videos to make my judgment known. I'm good on all that. So, what's my dream vacation spot? You know what? I would have to say Alaska. I've never been to Alaska, and I want to check Alaska out. It's a place that I think about all the time, but I just Have not been up there. I love nature. I love the outdoors. I love the quiet wilderness. I love all that stuff. So I think Alaska would be a great dream spot. Maybe take a cruise up there with Pepsi, do it for a weekend, do it for a week. I don't know. I think it'd be a lot of fun. If you could relive one concert you've been to, which would it be? Rascal Flatts. I went to a Rascal Flatts concert at the Gorge, and concerts at the Gorge are really fun. I think it might be one of the best venues like in Washington, just as far as the view. If you can do a summer Gorge show, which we did a summer concert with Rascal Flatts, and it was a lot of fun. And this was before I really got into country music, and I hadn't really been a huge fan of country music until I saw Rascal Flatts. And country live is completely different than any genre that you would think it is. So, um, moving on to the next segment I like to call Wedding Reality Check.
Wedding reality check. What do you recommend, DJ iSizzle?
So let's get into it. All right. So here's the story from a wedding last summer. The couple wanted a quiet first dance, but halfway through, they surprised their guests with a choreography group dance, including their bridal party. The guests went from sitting at their tables to jumping onto the floor, laughing, cheering, and clapping along. So that's the power of live energy. I think a DJ can amplify those surprises and make every moment feel like just unforgettable, just more like oomph to the emotion. And without a DJ, I mean, Uncle, can you cue the music real quick? Oh, I totally forgot. I didn't pay for Spotify this month. We got to listen to ads for like a minute. Oh boy. So, a great wedding DJ, they will make sure that they keep the emotions like in check as far as they know when to boost an emotion and when to bring the emotion down. A lot of the times, like, I'll just watch a couple or I'll feel them out. Like, if a couple is taking photos with all their guests and they're making rounds around the table, I won't interrupt them and say, "Hey, we got to get on to the next area." Hey, man, this is their wedding. This is their moment. Don't ever rush a couple as a wedding DJ. Like, if you're there for 4, 5, 6 hours, you got plenty of time. Okay. If the couple wants to take pictures at sunset with their guests, and instead you're thinking, man, I got to get this dance floor hot, don't try to get the dance floor hot. Okay. Play some up music, cool. But it doesn't mean that the bride and groom have to be there if they're taking photos with people. If a couple of people want to dance, they want to make some requests, man, bring them out to the floor, play their songs, have some fun. But don't ever put pressure on a couple to start the party and get it going. Couples work on their own term. They work on their own time. This is their day. This is not my day. I'm hired to enhance the experience and the emotions, but I am not here to take away from the couple's enjoyment of their guests, their friends, their family, the venue, the beautiful day that is theirs. So that's something as a wedding DJ that I live by. That's one of my codes. It's not about me. It's about the couple. So on that note, let's move on to segment number 2, Dance Floor Diaries.
Dance Floor Diaries. Tell us more, DJ iSizzle.
Multi-generational moves. All right. Let's see here. Let me move down here so I can read some of this off for you. One of my favorite memories happened at a wedding where there's 3 generations that ended up dancing together: grandparents, kids, and parents. So old school Motown classics like will do so much more for a dance floor than you even know. Something like Ain't No Mountain High Enough is one of those. It's a great song. It's 3 minutes and under. Great song. My Girl is another great song. It's just a great feel good song, and I always play it whenever it's May because they always talk about the month of May, and I've got sunshine. Highly recommend some Motown songs. If you don't listen to Motown, great. But I would recommend throwing some Motown into the mix. It's some of the best music. I mean, some of the best artists: Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. God, the list goes on and on. I mean, there was even the new generation of Motown, which was like Boys to Men. And there's even more new Motown, like Neo. I believe Neo was a part of Motown Records as well. So some really good stuff from Motown in the 60s. Highly recommend checking out that catalog. But yeah, so the goal as a wedding DJ really is to bring all the family out to the dance floor. At least the first like half hour, 45 minutes of the set. You got to get everybody out there, get them having a good time. After 45 minutes, hey, you don't you don't have to keep everybody out on the dance floor. But you do need to talk to the couple and ask them, when you have the initial meeting, say, hey, am I supposed to keep everybody out on the dance floor, or did you guys want to just like have some old school songs, get everybody dancing, and then kind of move them out, and then bring in your music and be like, hey, you guys don't have to be on the dance floor. This is kind of our moment, so go get another drink or whatever, guys. Thanks for coming. So it depends on the couple, but sometimes couples don't want the whole family there the whole night. So it's just one of those things like you guys can hang out for a little bit, and then you don't have to stick around the whole night. We got another couple hours. We're gonna turn it up a little louder, and we're just gonna do our own things. So that's something I always talk to about couples, like, hey, do you guys want this strictly for you guys? Who am I playing to here? Who is the main demographic that you guys want me to play to? So very important question to ask as a wedding DJ. If you don't ask it, you could be playing a lot of dud songs on the dance floor, and that's something you need to talk to the couple about. I always provide the wedding outline, always make sure every couple gets that wedding outline right when they hire me. I send it right to them, and I say, hey, here's the list of all the questions. We're going to start from pre-ceremony, what you want me to wear, what the vibe is of pre-ceremony, all the way up to the final farewell. We need to know every little detail about the music, because that's why you hire a wedding DJ. You hire a wedding DJ to keep the mood, to keep the vibe right all night. You want to make sure that you understand these things as a wedding DJ. So moving on, we're going to go to segment number 3, your wedding energy hack.
Your wedding energy hack. Tell us more, DJ iSizzle.
Here's my tip for a couple. Create a wow moment during your reception that no one sees coming. What I mean by that is, like, it could be a surprise choreographed first dance. It could be a private last dance for just the two of you, or even a like fun late night snack reveal. I've DJ'd one wedding where the couple surprised their guests with glow sticks during the last dance. The room lit up. I mean, the photos were incredible. Um, as a DJ too, like, take some liberties and say, all right, guys, we got all these glow sticks. Let's get everybody like waving the glow sticks up in the air, grab the photographer, say, hey man, can you take some photos? We're looking for some epic wedding shots, something that they can frame, maybe create a poster, put on the back of their wall. Always remember that day for the rest of their lives and how great it was, and friends and family, all that good stuff. So as a couple, definitely think about a wow moment during your reception, and something that your guests will remember, something that'll loosen them up a little bit too. Um, however, though, at the same time, like, do keep in mind, I mean, it is also your wedding. So if that's not something you feel comfortable with, then, a wow moment could be that last dance, the private last dance where you tell everybody, all right, guys, everybody out, line up. We're going to do sparklers. We're going to do glow sticks. We'll see you in about 3 minutes. We got ourselves a private dance. And that's where I'll just put on the song and just kind of go outside for a few minutes and let the couple, talk about their talk about the day during their last dance. And then after that, do the final farewell, the send off, and it's been one of the greatest days ever. So let's move on to segment number 4, request roulette.
Request roulette. Do you take requests, DJ iSizzle?
All right. So now for request roulette. So at one wedding, a guest came up and requested Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Now, it's a good song, and I've been playing it pretty much a lot of the events, unless it's on like a do not playlist. But for the most part, Taylor Swift gets on all the playlists, and Shake It Off is really still one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. But with something like that, sometimes you have to intro your songs. So I have a mashup that's the same beats per minute. It's Hey Ya from Outkast, and it kind of gets everybody going. It says, like, shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture, and it kind of keeps some energy, like, it keeps it going. And then it just kind of slams right into Shake It Off. So you prep people with that remix, and then you move it in with the mashup, and people will be so surprised. And a lot of people love Hey Ya, a lot of people love Shake It Off, and it's kind of a surprise song because we don't hear it everywhere as much as other songs that maybe get played at weddings a lot more. So it is a good song. Keep in mind it is 80 beats per minute, so it's not going to be any Pitbull 128 where you're just going to be jumping up and down. This is more like, hey, if we need to kind of bring it down a little bit, kind of be more like, hey, shake it off, versus the hey, hey, hey. This is a great song to use for that. So um, with requests, if they allow them, always figure out a way to work them in. I continually take screenshots of requests that come in from guests. Pepsi will take the request for me and she'll do screenshots. I'll save those screenshots. I'll put them in folders. If it's a song that I've tried to play and it doesn't work that well as a request, I mean, sometimes you just use a minute of a request, but sometimes too, I will find mashups where I can play the song. A lot of times people, if they request a song, they're just happy you play a little bit of it or any version of that song. So sometimes you can find mixes and mashups where it shortens the song, or I'll do special edits where just the best part of the song, and then we move on to the next song. So there's always a way to work in requests, and that's one way that I figured out how to work in Shake It Off as well as Outkast Hey Ya. So two really good, great wedding songs that I have always liked and will always continually to like. All right, let's move on to segment number 5. This is the track of the episode.
Track of the episode. Play us a banger, DJ iSizzle.
This week's track is I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. It doesn't matter how many times I played this song. For some reason, it always makes it in the playlist. It's just a lot of fun. It reminds you of a fun time. It reminds you of your younger days. It reminds you of like let's just have some fun. Let's take some shots. Let's not worry about anything else but having fun on the dance floor, partying. And this is another one of those jump up and down songs. And it is a very high BPM. It's the party BPM. You know, songs from 2008 to about 2013 were just so much fun, and just fun party tracks, just make you feel good. Easy to get people dancing to these songs. Um, Sometimes I'll play it up front at the beginning of the night, unless it's in the final song of the night. So sometimes I'll have brides put it in as their final farewell song, which I think is kind of a clever touch, actually. I always think like in terms of lyrics and like, I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night. So I would rush that one up front and say like program people to believe that tonight is going to be a good night, loosen them up a little bit. But at the same time, hey, you know, play it whenever you want during the night. Also, I like to mix this one in with Boom Boom Pow, which is not necessarily a lesser known song of the Black Eyed Peas, but it's the same BPMs, and it's kind of just like a fun, like catch you off guard kind of mix. So you can try that too. A lot of Black Eyed Peas songs are just really good, like good party songs in general. They're just lighthearted, good fun. So Black Eyed Peas, always bring them to the party. Always bring them to the party. All right, let's go into segment number 6. This is my Spotlight Shoutout.
Spotlight Shoutout. Who is the best in the Northwest, DJ iSizzle?
So today's Spotlight Shoutout goes to Back Bartending with Nicole. I've had the honor of working with Nicole at a private holiday party for Riot Games. This was a very high security event. This was a very private holiday party. If you weren't working there that day, you were not allowed to be in there. We had to go through a lot of security that night. It still stands out in my mind, and I wanted to say like one of the wow moments. And so Nicole, with Back Bartending, she has mixed cocktails for like countless weddings. We follow each other on social media. We talk occasionally on the phone about just like different events and what's going on, and I'll ask her about like what are some of the drinks you mix for a lot of the weddings. So I kind of have an idea too of like maybe there's some trending drinks or just different things. But she does countless wedding events, celebrity events, professional athletes. But one of the coolest things that she does, and I don't know if she still does it because this was a few years ago that we did this private party for Riot Games, but she would mix a drink and then she would light it on fire. And so I would be DJing, just mixing songs back and forth. And then out of the corner of my eye, I could just see like this flame go up. I'd be like, what is going on over there? And I look over there and she was lighting her drinks on fire. And I was like, this is the most incredible thing like I've ever seen. I've never actually seen bartending where they light your drinks on fire. I've seen it online, but I've never seen it in person. So it was such a cool touch that she put on there. So such a great fun collaboration. They asked me, there's like, hey, do you know a bartender? We're looking for somebody. We're putting together this holiday party. We want you. Do you know a bartender? I said, actually, I do know a bartender. So I met Nicole. I think we were on Facebook or one of the social medias, and we just kind of hit it off. We started commenting on each other's posts, and then started messaging each other, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, we work in the same industry." I'm like, "Oh no way, that's so cool." So she's super cool. If you're looking for a bartender, I highly recommend her services, and hopefully we can get her on the podcast one of these days, which would be awesome. All right, that's it for Behind the Booth with DJ iSizzle this week. Thank you so much for stepping behind the booth with me. I hope that you learned something. Today's episode, we're gonna call it Sparks, Surprises, and Dance Floor Legends. I hope you enjoyed the stories, the tips, and you learned a little bit about like being a DJ, the behind the scene magic of what it takes to be a wedding DJ, or just a DJ in general. And if you are planning your big day and you'd like to book me for your wedding, you can go to djissizzle.com, click on the book now button, and it'll take you right to the form. Just go ahead and contact me and we'll take it from there. Yeah. Okay. So until next time, keep the music loud, the energy high, the dance floor alive, and remember to stay sizzling. Thank you guys so much. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Behind the Booth podcast hosted by DJ iSizzle. Remember to keep the music loud, the energy high, and your memories unforgettable. See you next time.